Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dave, and we are the IB English guys. Today we're going to talk about films and series. We love films and series, and we think this will be a great one. One reason why I love films is because they transport me to another world. They're great stories, and I love getting swept up into the story in the new place.
So true, Mr. Giles. And for me, one of the reasons I love films and series, I believe that films and series are close cousins of literature. And what I mean is, sure, authors use a range of authorial choices to communicate meaning, but so do filmmakers. And I love to see what people are doing with camera. I love to see how editors work. And I just find the whole craft of filmmaking very, very interesting.
Yeah, I love films because they make me think about my own life, my friends, my family. I think about things I'm grateful for and my past experiences.
Yeah, and speaking of past experiences, for me, I use films and documentaries and series to really teach me more about social issues and current events. And I see these characters and they really help me empathize and formulate my own opinions about these ideas.
That's great. So the first series I'd like to talk about is MAID, and it's currently streaming on Netflix. This show is powerful. It's about a young woman named Alex, and she's trying to escape an emotionally abusive relationship. And it's such a powerful story about a young woman and her young child named Maddie, and she's trying to navigate the world. It's incredible characters, great acting, takes place in Seattle, and it really moved me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thinking about people trying to find their way in the world, Mr. Giles, I really enjoyed the series UNORTHODOX on Netflix. I think that dropped about a year or two ago. This follows the character Etsy, Etsy, right? And she's a Orthodox Jewish woman living in Brooklyn, New York, and it's a very repressive culture in society, specifically toward women. So this 4-part series follows her on her journey over to Europe, actually, where she's on a quest to find her own identity and break free and find her own identity. I found it fantastic. If you're interested in this type of story, I think the series is great.
Yeah, super powerful. Great acting. I want to talk about a documentary that I saw recently on Netflix, quite recently, last week actually, and it's called 14 Peaks. It's about a Nepali climber named Nims. And Nims is such a powerful guy, and he is on a quest to climb the 14 8,000 meter peaks in record time. He wants to break a world record. What's special about this film is Nims himself, first of all, coming from Nepal, representing the country of Nepal, and really trying to represent his country, and it's such a powerful story.
Yeah, I also love that. If you like the outdoors, that's a great film to watch for sure. Mr. Giles, have you seen Parasite?
I have.
Have you seen OKJA?
I have not seen
Exactly.
OKJA.
So everybody knows BONG-JOON for Parasite, but before Parasite, he had another film called OKJA, which I think is absolutely fantastic. We follow a young South Korean character, and her job is to, believe it or not, raise a pig, Mr. Giles. But this is no ordinary pig. This pig has been genetically modified. The story goes basically that big business, big corporations, they're trying to find the perfect form of meat. So this documentary looks at big business, it looks at our choices about what we eat, it looks at our relationships with nature, and this girl and this pig form a very powerful friendship, and really the story is, can she save this pig from the slaughterhouse? It's a really, really compelling story, and it'll make you think about what you eat.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to see that. Yeah. The next series I'd like to talk about is The Morning Show. You've probably heard about it. It's on Apple TV. It's streaming now. It is really an entertaining show, but it also is ripped right out of the headlines. It stars Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell, and it's about a morning show on TV, on television, a news show, and it's really ripped out of the headlines because it talks about the Me Too movement. It talks about racial inequality. It's highly entertaining, and it really is like a behind-the-scenes look at what these people are doing as they're making the news.
Mr. Giles, did you see enough pandemic news?
I saw a lot.
Well, I had a tough time with the pandemic as well, especially with my mental health. And Bo Burnham, in his Netflix special, Inside by Bo Burnham, he really explores the challenges that we all went through regarding COVID and our mental health. He does it in a very comedic way. He uses music, he uses stage performances. It's basically him alone as a one-man show for an hour and a half through a series of skits, bringing light to a very, very stressful situation.
Yeah, it's funny and really, really touching. It's great. Another sort of great escapist series is called Lupin. It's a French series about a gentleman thief who pulls off these incredible heists, and he's such a special character, and it's really entertaining. It's got a little bit of that Sherlock Holmes feel as they're trying to catch him. but it's got a lot of intrigue and backstory and really, really well filmed.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I also enjoyed that series. You like to cry?
I do. Well, no, I don't,
okay.
but yeah.
Folks, if you haven't seen My Octopus Teacher, I highly recommend this film. This is an Academy Award-winning film recently, and we see a South African man who becomes a bit disillusioned with his life, and he decides to go back to South Africa and try to reconnect with nature. And as a free diver, Mr. Giles, he meets an octopus. And the entire film really is about his relationship with this octopus. They form an incredible bond. I never knew that an octopus could be such an amazing creature. Check it out.
That sounds really intriguing.
It's fantastic.
The last series that I'm going to talk about is called Caliphate. This has been out for a little while, but you probably haven't heard of it. It's a Swedish series. It is a powerful look at terrorism. There's an imminent terrorist attack against Sweden, and it really profiles 5 women who are caught up in all this intrigue. The one big story that I remember from this series is a young woman, a Muslim woman, goes to Syria with her husband, who's kind of been recruited by ISIS. He's a very fundamentalist believer, and she gets swept up and she wants to get out, and she's trying to get out. It's very intriguing and really well done.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Antigone in some ways. I don't know about you. Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about, you may have seen this on Netflix. There's an entire series called Explained, and this is produced by Vox, a media company. And the one I really like is called Explained, and it explores the mind. If you like psychology, or if you're interested in, the teenage brain, if you want to know how brainwashing happens, these are 25 bite-sized episodes. 25-minute bite-sized episodes, and each one explores a different aspect of the brain and the inner workings of psychology. I found it really informative, highly engaging, and just a great overall documentary.
I think the takeaway is choose carefully. Think about what series or what films you can watch that really enrich your mind, that activate your imagination. Yes, entertain you, but also are some good talking points that you can bring into your life and talk about, and make you more interesting.
Folks, we hope these 2 videos, the last one on books and this one on what to watch, gives you something to do during the break. We hope your mind is enriched, your mind is engaged, and we look forward to seeing you after the new year back on the channel. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon.
Bye guys.